What is the radius of this circle? Can you find it? We would be finding the radius of this beautiful circle in two different ways. So let's begin with our solution. Let's call this point here as A, and let's call this point as B. And here is the center. Let's say somewhere here is the center of our circle. Let's call it S. Now we know that CB needs to be the radius of our circle. So this, let's call this for R. So we know that AS needs to be AB minus the radius. So that means this length here can be write as 20 minus R. So now let's connect these 2 points and see what we get. So if we connect these 2 points, we get something like this. And we also know this is the radius of our circle, so we call it R. Here we have a right angle triangle. So now we can use the beautiful Pythagoras theorem and see what we get. We can write this as 20 minus R square plus the other side, which is 10 square. This needs to be the same as the hypotenuse square, which is R square. So if we simplify this, we get 400 minus 40R plus R square plus 100 equal to R square. Some people think that we get two different solutions, but that's not the case because we can cancel R square here on both sides. So we have now 400 plus 100, which is 500, and let's bring this minus 40R to the right side of the equation, and that becomes positive. So we have 40R. So to find the radius, we need to divide it by 40 on both sides, and we get our beautiful result, our radius, which is 50 divided by 4, and that is 12.5 unit. This is one way to find the radius of this beautiful circle. What do you think of this method? Let me know in the comment section. Now I'm gonna show you the other method, which is much easier and much faster. In this second method, we will be using the Chord theorem, which says something like this. So first we extend these lines. That means we extend these lines something like here, and we do the same thing here. And let's call this length for A. Because of the symmetry, this length also needs to be 10 unit. So what we can do now is we are interested in this point. So this length, which is 20 unit, if we take this and multiply it with this length, which is A, we have called it A, this needs to be the same as this length here, which is 10, times this length here, which is also 10. This is the Chord theorem, okay? It's much easier, much faster. So we get 20A here equal to 100. So to find A, we need to divide by 20 on both sides, and we get our A, and that gives us that A needs to be 5 unit. But we know that A plus 20 is the diameter, right? That means the diameter of our circle is 25 unit. We also know that diameter is also 2 times the radius, right? So this is the same as 2R. So to find the radius now, we take 25 and divide it by 2, right? And that will give us exactly the same value which we found in method 1, and that is 12.5 unit again. So now I want you to tell me which method did you prefer here, this, the first method, or the second method, or do you have any other method that you could solve for the radius of this beautiful circle?